Caitlin and I study BA Social Dynamics at Stellenbosch University. Previously, we looked at the purpose of the career flower. In this video, we will cover the self-assessment section. By doing the self-assessment, you get to know yourself a little better, which can help you make decisions about your subject choices. It's important to understand yourself so that the decisions that you make today will help you get to where you want to be in the future. The self-assessment section helps you to identify your interests, special talents, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats, and role models. The first section of the self-assessment is about interests. Interests can be described as things that people like to do or want to know more about. The manual helps you to identify your interests by asking you to list activities that you like to do in your free time and consider why you enjoy doing them. For example, perhaps you like to paint in your free time because you enjoy being creative. Next, you are asked to list your favorite and least favorite subjects at school, which should help you to answer the next question: what subjects you would like to take until matric. The last question asks you about what jobs you would like to do in the future. All of these questions link together because your interests are likely to be reflected in your favorite subjects, while your subjects will help you get to where you want to be in your career. In section 3.2, you are asked to identify your special talents. In other words, what things are you good at doing? Maybe you can play the piano, or you always win your tennis matches. Next, you have to identify the subjects that you get the highest marks for and the subjects that you struggle with. Lastly, you are asked to think back to times when you achieved something that made you proud. This can be an award, a very high mark, or making the first team for a school sport. Remember that interests are things that you like to do. Talents are things that you're good at, and role models are people that we look up to and strive to be like. By completing the activities, you are prompted to reflect on what these things mean for you. We are all unique, and something that you find interesting may be really boring to someone else. That's why these activities are designed, to help you gain more self-awareness and to help you make an informed decision when choosing your subjects at the end of the year. Section 3.3 asks you to complete a SWOT analysis. SWOT stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Strengths are things that you believe that you are good at and do well in, which can also relate to your talents. For example, your strength could be that you are good at working with numbers and always pay attention to detail. On the other hand, it is equally important to know what you are not good at, your weaknesses. Weaknesses are things that we find more difficult. Maybe you always procrastinate and hand in projects late, or you always get low marks for languages. After you've explored your strengths and weaknesses, you need to consider study and career-related opportunities and threats. Opportunities are things that can help you get to where you want to be with your future studies. An opportunity is something like good time management, motivation, and family support. This differs to a threat, which is an obstacle or a challenge to your future studies. Threats to studying after school could be low marks, financial difficulties, or a learning environment that is not conducive to studying. It's important to think of ways to overcome your challenges in your life. For example, if you have identified that finances could prevent you from studying after school, you could consider applying for a bursary. Similarly, if low marks mean that you might not meet the admission requirements for university, you could set up a study schedule and allocate more hours in your day to studying. By performing a SWOT analysis, you gain insight into what you're good at and what opportunities you have at your disposal. When you choose your subjects at the end of grade 9, this should play a role in your decision-making process. For example, if one of your strengths is science, and you have opportunities to study after school, such as family support and motivation to study further, perhaps you could consider a career in the sciences. In the last section, you are asked to consider the role models in your life. A role model is someone that we admire and who inspires us to incorporate their values and attitudes or to imitate their behavior. A role model can be anyone that you know, and it can even be someone that you don't know personally. For example, your role model could be a sibling who is very determined and confident, or you could be inspired by a celebrity. I admire celebrities who advocate for animals' rights. Once you have identified the role models in your life, We were asked to contemplate the reason for choosing these particular individuals. The last two activities pose the following questions. Are you a role model to someone in your life? Perhaps you have a younger sibling who wants to be like you, or friends that you inspire in some way. What do you think it is? Why do you think it is important to have a role model? Next, we will look at career interests and which careers you might be interested in.